Pardon me, I may not be able to get back far enough to get this whole thing in the frame sometimes. It's a 1955 Greenlee 110 planer, 42 inches wide with a Newman quiet cut head, 35 horsepower cutter head, all set up at 240 volt 3-phase. That is the forward reverse for the table up and down. That's for the 4-speed feed motor. You can manually adjust it, but you better be strong. There's a little cool feature here. You've got a scale on there, and also this lever back here actually can be pulled down and used to it frees up one of the gears, and you spin this hand wheel and it can adjust the table left and right. It'll clock your lead screws one or the other a little bit. It's just got some oil cups right there in the frame. Those go down to an oil well, and those wick out onto the bottom rails in the inside where the bottom wedge slides on the frame. That's your gearboxes for your feed. That covers up the motor head shaft that comes out this end. When it had straight knives, you would wrap a rope around that with a weight on it, and that would hold your cutter head into your knife stops for grinding your straight knives. And that was on there to plug in the sharpener at one point in time. The frame's hollow. A lot of the wires are passed through inside of the frame. Starter's still uncovered. I broke the power bed up and down out of the start circuit so I could run the bed up and down and clean and lubricate things without the cutter head going. So when I get all this wrapped up, I'll put that back to how it was designed. There's your adjustment for your pressure bar. It's a 100 amp disconnect right there. Behind that is your 5 horsepower 4-speed motor for the feed. It actually ends up being 5 horsepower, 3 1/3 horsepower, 2.5 horsepower, 1 2/3 horsepower, depending on your RPM. All the wires are actually in through the frame. There's a few holes in there. It's about 9,300 pounds. I'd say just average it, call it 9,000. It may be a little bit more, but my forklift doesn't seem to mind it at all. Go ahead and it's a lot of table to pick up. We'll go ahead and start it up. Nice and quiet. I'm going to run the table back down a little bit so you can see the feed going. And we'll kick the feed on right here. There's low speed. See the in-feed rollers there. It's a 6-roll machine, so you've got 3 powered rollers in the bed, you've got 2 sectional in-feed rollers, and then you've got your out-feed roller. We'll kick it up another speed. We'll go to speed 3, and we'll hit high speed. Absolutely quiet, smooth, but that's what 10,000 pounds of cast iron will do for you. We'll shut everything off. It runs for a while before it finally comes to a stop. I really can't believe there actually isn't a handbrake on this machine. Only thing left to do now is get my grinder set up. And this thing will be ready to head to its new home.